Hi, welcome to my new video. In this video I'm going to talk about audio plugins inside Linux. Let's go. Now, I've already made some tutorials how to install Windows audio plugins inside Linux via Wine and Yarbridge. How do you make the setups, etc. How do you make the commands, etc. I've shown you all of these steps. Now, I'm talking about the Linux native audio plugins which you can install. And first of all, I will be talking about Arch, Fedora and Debian based, audio bundles you can install. And how do your audio plugins .so files, etc. work inside Linux. I mean, how do they work is not really that complicated. How do you install it and how do you scan it via Repos, for example. Now, first of all, what we need to do is to reach into each official repository in order to install certain packages. Easy enough. So now I will show you how can you install some of all the many audio bundles for audio plugins for native Linux VST plugins. Yeah. First things first. Now at first I make the showcase in Arch Linux. So after the installation process, we have installed all these audio plugins, but if we open files, go into the root directive. Now here you can see there are many different subdirectives, and the home directive, etc. This is where you store your data, etc. But this is not what I'm going to talk about. So with this terminal command, we have executed the installation process of the audio bundles. I mean, it's a prefixed audio bundle so that you can install more sub-bundles in one command. But the thing is, now let's go back to files and to the root directive again. Where exactly has this been installed to? I mean, I can really imagine that absolutely no one on earth is willing to click through each directive and see if they can find some .so files. I mean, to call it boring would be an understatement. It's more frustrating than anything else. But how can you find out where it was locally installed to? Because if in the next videos I'm going to install Reaper. And with Reaper we need to select the folders to scan the audio plugins. But if you don't know where it was installed, it's more than just frustrating, and it's really easy. Just reopen. Maybe let me just clear it up. This command, and then we replace S with QL. Then additionally, I'm just going to install other audio plugins. Now I'm just also going to install some audio plugins from the Arch user repository by the yay command, yay-s, and then, for example, let's look Vital Synth. A really cool synthesizer, but yeah, let's just download it. So now previously we have installed the Pro Audio package, then we have installed the Vital Synth. Where is Arch installing all these audio plugins to? That's pretty easy. Let's take this last command. Replace S with a big Q and then an L. It's in the user directive. So just open files, user. Here we have user bin, for example, in this directive, then user lib. So it's good to know that generally installed all here into. And as you can remember, Yarbridge in the previous video I have installed also is channeled through the user directive. It's, you know, chain loading plugins, but I'm just getting lost here. So now for Arch in general, there are in the official repositories many audio plugins. In the Arch user repository, many good audio plugins. But now there's something I really need to show you. So AUR, Arch user repository. And then here, just type in VST, VST3, .clap, any of those. And here you can see you have a collection of audio plugins. Just double click copy and then yay -s, copy paste it in here and download it. So, and yeah, this type of installation goes for all Arch user repository plugins, in addition to the Pro Audio package we've installed earlier. And I mean, there are way more audio plugins, etc. natively, but yeah, this is one way to install them. So now I am in Fedora. Now I'll just show you one of many examples. Sudo dnf install SAM plugins, for example. And then where it was installed. Voila. Now to Fedora. On the Fedora packages website, packages.fedoraproject.org, you can either go back to Fedora apps, for example, and get a great overview over different kind of routes and packages. Check it out. Now here I am in Debian. So by sudo apt install, then call plugins, for example. And yeah, voila, this is how you install packages in Debian. But also audio packages. The same thing on Debian. On the Debian website, yeah, there's text here, and now you come to the search function. Type in VST, for example, go to search. Now we have installed the different audio plugins. Now one thing we need to do is where were the plugins installed to locally on your drive. As you can see, you have many in the root directive, many different folders, and with even more subfolders. But there's an easy command to find it out where it was installed to. Oh, yeah. Installing Linux native audio plugins is obviously technically way easier than installing Windows audio plugins. No question there. Just like there are many different formats inside Windows. VST, VST3, .clap, etc. There's also different formats on Linux. Most likely all the plugins have been installed in the user directive, if you have installed them via the official repositories. But I mean, you can check it out for each of them. But my recommendation is, especially if you're working with Yarbridge, etc., to scan the user of the directive. I will just show you how you do this as a collective from your DAW. I will just show you. Biggest advantage you're having if you install audio plugins from the official repositories is that they are co-updated with all the system updates, which is a big plus. Now that we have finished talking about installing from the official repositories, we need to talk about installing plugins from certain websites. Plugins for free, for example, is a good website to start with, and install the .so files manually, and then put them all into a folder and scan it from your DAW. Yeah, it's way easier than it sounds, and yeah. Now one thing we can do is just open any browser and go to plugins for free. It's an amazing website to install Windows audio plugins, Mac audio plugins, and also Linux audio plugins. Just create a .os filter, just that only Linux is enabled, for example. Eirael Nexus 6, for example. Let's make it like that. Yeah. Open a new tab. They have FDN symbol, Tunefish. It's not really that important right now. So here you have the choice between installing the Windows versions, 32, 64, depending on the Windows version. And you can, you could install the Windows version and then install it via bottles and then enable it via Yardbridge. I've made videos about it in that exact playlist. In the description you can find the videos where I've talked about setting up your Wine environment, a Wine, the translation program between Windows programs inside a Linux environment, which is especially important if you want to work with Yardbridge. Yardbridge, a translation program, a bridging program between Windows audio plugins running through Wine into a Linux environment host. And here you can install the Linux version. So for 64 host, that's what we do. Then Tunefish, also the Linux version. Symbol, yeah. Let's install all of these. After you have installed all these audio plugins, let's go to the downloads folder and then we need to unzip them. So, then what I would recommend for you to do, go to personal folder or any external drives. I mean, it doesn't really matter where exactly you put this folder. I just name it audio, pretty easy. Then we go to settings, click on this top menu here. Here you can change the interface if you would want to, so you can find it easier. And then Linux VST plugins, for example. And here so what we need to do, transfer or copy this into this folder here. Now, why is this useful and why is this needed? Simple. For example, here I am inside Repo. Now let's go to Preferences, go to VSTs, Edit Path List, then Audio, the folder we have created earlier, and where the VST plugins are stored in. Then Apply, OK, close Repo. Then reopen it. And now you can find the scanning process was successful. So, and yeah, plugins for free. So now where can you install all these audio plugins? For Windows, for Linux, etc. First of all, plugins for free is a good place to start. You have many different overfolders and subcategories. Of course, we have, you know, drum sets. So yeah, for synthesizers, for example, for lo-fi sound synthesizer, strings, orchestral. Then you have effects, for example. Now for delay, reverb, modulation, lo-fi distortion, filtering, etc. Another good place to be is Linux Studio plugins. You know, it's listed up how, you know, .clap, .check, Let's Buy, etc. What it is, what they're doing. Then they also give you a path of, you know, the plugins, etc., which they are providing, how to download them, of course. GVST, for example. In the future, I'm going to make videos about, you know, websites to install from in way better detail, free audio plugins to begin with, obviously. But, you know, it's just one of many opportunities, one of many websites. You know, these are just, you know, plugins for free is one of the bigger ones, but there are many more. And you are not limited in that regard. And of course, you can install the Windows versions, as you can see in the videos I've made earlier about Wine Yarbridge. Yeah. So in paths installation websites to install from, there are many opportunities, etc. And especially with the Yarbridge opportunity you have inside Linux, you're not really limited in any way, which should worry you. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was kind of helpful to you. Keep working, because there's still much to do. And go read Berserk.